DPS TeleClass.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to DPS TeleClass. I welcome you all to the second lesson of this term. Are you ready for the second lesson? Before I begin the lesson, let's read the dua for the knowledge.
قال رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي.
Hello students, are you ready for the lesson? Okay, here Fomis is going to take a new English lesson. This lesson is about classroom jobs. Okay, students, last week we have learned about back to school. This is also under the theme back to school, but we go further into the classroom this time. So we are going to be learning about classroom jobs now. Are we ready for the lesson? Students, now it's time for me to share the learning intention with you all. So let's see the learning intention of this lesson. Learning intention. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to speak or convey personal needs in complete sentences and respond to questions related to familiar situations. So what we are going to do here in mainly in today's task, what we are going to do is you're going to identify about the jobs that you really want to do, and you're going to apply for one job and you're going to speak about it in complete sentences. So by the end, when you finish the speech, then you will be completed with this learning intention. Clear? Now I'm going to share the success criteria for the lesson. By the end of today's lesson, students, you should be able to choose a classroom job which you would like to apply and fill an application form on page 8. So there are so many jobs that you will come across. You are going to identify your strength and weakness for a particular job, and you are going to identify the job that you will be choosing and then fill the form. Okay, after filling the form, use this form as a guideline, and then what you are going to do is you have to give a speech less than 1 minute about the classroom job that you have applied, why you want to do this particular job, and how qualified you are for this particular job or this post. So you have to tell your teacher that you are the best candidate by giving the speech. And this is the success criteria for today. It's not a very difficult task. So hope that you will all be successful by the end of this lesson. So now let's see the learning. Now we have gone through the learning intention. Now we have gone through the success criteria. Now we are going to go through key competency. Okay students, I have chosen two key competencies today. Uh, why I chose two is because first one is we are going to talk about different classroom jobs. Then you will come across so many words like calendar, clock, monitor. So you are going to make meaning out of this. And after doing that, you are going to understand about yourself. You are going to see what are your weaknesses and your strength and your qualities for a particular job, and you are going to manage yourself in that job by doing the task of the job. So that's why I have taken two key competencies for this today. So is it clear now how I have chosen the key competency? Okay. Now let's go forward with the lesson. Okay, you might be wondering why the teacher is speaking about so much about classroom job today. So last week we have done back to school, and when we are in back to school, first week we all know that we used to set up some rules, and also teacher assigns you with some task, right? Some small task, and also she usually select monitors, group leaders, and etc. and etc. Do you remember about these things? Yeah, this monitor, group leader, line leader, and last year we have food leaders. All these leaders are the classroom jobs. Is it clear, students? Now let's say what classroom job is. What is a classroom job? Classroom jobs are an important component in our classroom. So students, your classroom becomes successful by having this job in a class. Okay, to one teacher to do all the tasks in the class, it's possible, but it becomes more efficient when the teacher assigns you with these tasks, so that you also get involved in the class. You feel that you are also belonging to the particular class, and you also feel you are responsible, right? And I am sure that these classroom jobs have been fun. Even I love doing some classroom job when I was a kid in school. So, do you like classroom jobs? I'm sure you love it, right? Classroom jobs enable students to feel important, helps to learn responsibility, keep them involved, and maintain successful and clean classroom. So this is a very important thing, right? Students, you become responsible. That's a very small term, but a very big difference it can bring to your lives. So you are learning how important it is to take care of yourself as well as your class members, as well as your classroom. And you learn to respect, you learn to take initiate, and also you learn to maintain being successful students when you complete these small tasks in the class. Every student has a classroom job. Don't feel like Aishat and Ali only have to do the classroom jobs. No, each and every one of you in the class is responsible, and each and every one in the class has a classroom job. Is it clear, students? It might not be every week or every day, but it will change, and you are responsible, and you need to take your responsibility every day as a good student. Now teacher is going to share some qualities as a person you have to have in order to apply for classroom jobs. So first we have this term helpful. I'm sure you all are very familiar with these words, but I'll be recalling one word by word to give you a hint. Okay, helpful, you all know, right? Giving, lending a hand, kind, showing care and things. Honest means being loyal, right? Capable means you can do something. Knowledgeable, hygienic, being clean. Responsible means you take actions, and you take I mean, if something goes wrong, you feel sorry for that. So that is taking, you take actions for whatever thing that you have done. And hard working, that means you do your level best, ensure your level best performance there. You should be friendly, efficient, That means very accurate you should be. For example, if somebody asks you to send a message to the other teacher in the room, then you should pass the message correctly, right? Otherwise, again and again teacher have to send a student, so it will take some time. So a person who goes with the message, that person should be very efficient, well organized, good handwriting should be there, should be always mindful on, you should be on alert. That means you can't be forgetful. Okay, and then you should be punctual and you should be well mannered. And also there are things that is not here, but you should be able to take, you should be very positive thinkers, and you should try to be fair among other students also. These are also some qualities that you should have. Now teacher is going to share the first job with you all. It's a class monitor. Okay, this word class monitor is very familiar with you all. We all know, and we all love to be a class monitor, right? Normally a class monitor is a student who assists the teacher in routine duties. So for example, if the teacher is for example, she might be late to class, or she might be talking to a class, another teacher, or in between two teachers exchange in time, in between that period also monitor will take over the class, and monitor will calm down the class and keep the classroom quiet. So there will be two monitors mostly. There is a girl monitor and a boy monitor. One will be the class monitor, the other will be called the class assistant monitor, and it depends. Okay, mostly teachers select the best disciplined students for this job, and also teacher checks whether you are good at academics as well as you are proactive. That means without somebody telling you to do things, you know what to be done, you know to when to take your responsibility. So this proactiveness is very important in order to become a monitor in the class. Not someone has to come and tell, hi monitor, this is your time to take your duty. Nobody will tell like that. You should know, you should take initiate, you should know this is the time for me to take the responsibility. So whenever the teacher is out of the sight, you should be taking the class in control, and you should try and advise, and all the group leaders will cope with the monitor and make the classroom a good happy environment. Now I'm going to talk about new two jobs. The first job that I'm going to talk about is a group leader. So you all know who is a group leader, right? We all sit in groups mostly, and we have got a group name, and then we have the group leader card, right? This card shows that you are the group leader, and teacher usually exchange groups with week by week, and also group leaders are exchange week by week, right? Or twice a week, like that sometimes. So here, mostly group leader have to observe whatever goes in the group, and should maintain the group clean, and also collect the work for the absentees in the group, and maintain a file. And also in this school, um, mostly a teacher does collection, right? But the group leader can collect the books and keep it in the particular cupboard for the kid. Okay, the qualifications you must have is you must be well organized and responsible, and must be friendly. If you are somebody who's not well organized, then for example, there are 2 to 3 absentees in the group, then whole group will look messy, right? If their books are laid here and there, So if a group leader must be well organized, and he quickly, the group leader should know when to keep the books, and should be responsible for the absentees books also. And you should at least take it to the teacher, then, or the paper handler, to keep it in the cupboard. And also, one other thing is that group leaders should be friendly. If you are not friendly with the other members of the group, it will be having a hard time. You should be a positive thinker, and you should maintain the peace in the group. And mostly, when we lead a group activity, group leader has to play a very, very important role in assigning the tasks for different students in the group, and to make sure that you involve all the students in the group during the activities that is conducted. Next one is the energy saver. This person, what they have to do is they have to turn off the lights, fans, and also the projector when needed. For example, the teacher might forget to off the projector, and that time you can take the remote and off it and keep it. And also you have to keep and maintain the classroom devices like smart TV and things. Before going home, you should put the cover and make sure the remote stays where it is, and these type of things also should be done by the energy saver. Okay, energy saver should be always alert and must be willing to learn. Sometimes during, mostly what we do is, in our school we will turn off the lights and we open the windows and keep, right? But during rainy time we have to close the windows, and the energy saver should turn on the lights. And also, when we have to turn off the lights, make sure that it is turned off even. Okay, so now we have learned about three different jobs, that is class monitor, group leader, energy saver. Now I'm going to go further into another job. Before that, I'm going to tell you the two terms which you might not be familiar. Responsibilities. Responsibilities in the way we call zimma. Okay, what you have to do in a particular job. Kikang a job ek kuran zihin, like this. And qualification. Qualification is how much you have in you, how qualified you are. Okay, then in the way we say gabil kang horo. Okay. Next two jobs are Imam and line leader. These are also very important jobs for a class. First is Imam. Imam most of the time will lead the prayer when in school and encourage others to pray. And also Imam will be taking the responsibility of reading the dua in the morning time. Okay. And if we have an extra class, then we have to pray uh, um, afternoon prayer, right? At that time, Imam will lead the class. And if it is the afternoon session school, then we can pray uh, evening prayer also in the school. But now we have one session, so we normally pray at home. So Imam job is there. Always an Imam should be set up, because whenever we go into a field trip or somewhere, we might need, whenever we need to pray, then Imam should be ready. So in order for Imam to be ready, the person should know the prayer recitals by heart. That means if you don't know prayer recitals, it is very hard for you to pray correctly, right? And you should know all the steps to prayer, and also you should know the good ways of ablution, and also you should know some verses from Quran so that you can read it correctly. Next is a line leader. A line leader will lead the line, and most of the time a line leader should be very quiet, calm, and the person should be able to lead the line straightly. And also, the particular person should know the way. For example, if you have to go to the music room, If the line leader does not know where the music room is, it will be hard to lead the line there. So the person who wants to become a line leader should be very familiarized with all the places in the school. Sometimes line leaders play a very important role when we go outside for field trips. At that time, also, if you know the places in the island, then that will be a good thing that you have. If you know the map very well, and also line leader should know if you go by walking, then you should be able to know the traffic rules and walking on the pavement and uh, being calm and quiet and walking straightly. So these are the things that is very much in need for a line leader. Okay, here you can read the responsibilities and qualification. You can see also when we take for the qualification, the student must know the school and must be capable of staying quiet and must walk at an appropriate pace. That means you are not a student who runs, not a student who is lagging behind, but a student who is normally walking well. Okay. Okay, student. Now we have the other two jobs, which is first job is librarian, the other one is paper handler. Normally, a librarian will straighten and organize the classroom library books. Mostly every classroom would have a small library. It might be a shelf, it might be a cupboard, or it might be some boxes with books. So the librarian will be arranging these books and keeping a record of the books in the library and also looking after the books very neatly and carefully. Then the other thing is that now in our school we have reading 400, right? So the librarian will take initiate and distribute reading 400 cards. It will be in a file mostly, or else it will be hanged somewhere. So the librarian, it's librarian's responsibility to look after these reading 400 cards also. The qualification is he or she must be very well organized and must enjoy books. If you're somebody who is not organized, then it's very hard to keep the books and keep a track of the reading cards, right? But if you're organized, you can, end of the day, all the library books as well as the reading cards will be in their particular corresponding places. Next one is a paper handler. This is also a very important job. Mostly, we always distribute the books, or we collect the books, we distribute the papers, and we collect the papers, right? So, a paper handler, mostly we take two students to collect the books and to distribute the books, because one student, two or three students will be doing paper handler in, at a time, because sometimes very heavy books are there, right? So most of the time, the paper handler will pass out and collect papers and books. Okay, and that person should be very responsible and hand back papers efficiently. Not only papers, the books also, they should hand back it efficiently. While you are collecting, you should be very careful, because you are taking some responsibility to collect some students' works. So you have to collect them accurately and neatly, and also you have to check whether the students have written their name on the papers, as well as while distributing the books also, you should be handing the book to the student. If the student is not at the class at the moment, if you are distributing a paper, keep some way on the paper so it doesn't fly here and there, and also alert the group members or the group leader regarding the paper that you are giving, as well as when distributing the book also, don't throw the book anywhere that you want, just give it to the student. Respect your books as well as others books. Okay. Next we have calendar clerk and food leader. Okay. Normally, what a calendar clerk should do is, the calendar clerk will have a calendar every month, and on that calendar, calendar clerk will update the upcoming events of the school. Sometimes we have handball tournaments, football tournaments, or literary activities, or either we might have math week, English week, so something like this. If any of these event is upcoming, they will be recording it on the calendar, so everyone in the class will be alert about it. Or sometimes if there's a special day coming, or special event like Children's Day or someone's birthday, also it will be written on the calendar. So calendar clock will alert everyone in the class regarding those days. And sometimes we have to be dressed up for a particular day, so the calendar clock can tell how many days are left for a particular event, or uh, how important the upcoming events are. So normally the responsibility is this, and the qualification is that student must have a good handwriting. If it is a bad handwriting, then calendar won't look that cute and neat, right? So you should be somebody who do neat work and have a good handwriting. Must remember the upcoming birthdays and events. If you don't know what is the special day ahead, then it is very hard. Sometimes there is some Islamic and also some country national national activity events, and also there are some school special events. So all these events the calendar clock should be aware and should have the knowledge about it. Okay, and also she can get help from the teacher, as well as she can refer to a calendar when she is filling this one. Next is food leaders. This is also not a very new job for you now. What food leaders does is, at interval time your parents come and keep all the interval breaks down, and there are specific tables for specific grades and classes. So what the food leader will do is, teacher will send the food leader 15 minutes or 10 minutes before interval to collect the bags. So that student should be strong and responsible and well mannered, because you are going alone with the two food leaders normally would be there. So you are going down to collect this, um, and sometimes if your breakfast is not brought up, then also food leader will go down and collect the milk packets, and if it is bananas that day, they will collect bananas. Like this they will be collecting and bringing. So meanwhile you do all this, teacher will not be going down with you, so you have to go down very smoothly, and you shouldn't talk, you should be well mannered, you should greet the principal or the other teachers that you see on the way, and you should be showing that you are very responsible. Make sure you collect all the bags, and also take good care of the bags when you are bringing the bags up. And also if you are somebody who is strong, then you can carry the uh, good number of bags with you, right? If you are weak, then you can't carry. So for food leaders, then they will come up to the class and they will distribute these bags to the students, and they also play a very important role. Okay, next we have teacher's assistant and cleanup crew. These two are also very important jobs in a class. Mostly teacher's assistant will have lots of responsibility, and the main responsibility of a teacher assistant is to help the slow learners to complete their works with the help of the teacher as well. You are helping the teacher with the slow learners. Okay, so in order to become a teacher assistant, you should be knowledgeable, you should be responsible, you should be reliable. Teachers can trust on you, so teachers can rely on you. You won't say no, you won't give up. That type of a student you have to be, and you should have good grades, and you should complete work before time. There are very good students, but they don't complete the work before time. They just complete the work very slowly to the time. So sometimes if you are very capable also, when you cannot complete the work before time, then you cannot help any slow learner in the class, right? So a assistant teacher should be very smart, And also, whenever there is a printing or some messages to be passed to the printing room or to the office or the leading teacher, normally teacher will send the assistant teacher or the monitor to this task. Next is cleanup crew. The the cleanup crew is very very important in a classroom. Mostly 5 to 4 students will be in a cleanup crew, and the cleanup crew will be distributed among the whole class, and it, they will be in charge of cleaning up any spills or keeping common area tidy after every interval period, and after breakfast period they will keep the classroom clean. And also after the class they will check the chairs at the end of the day. These 3 or 4 students will collect all the chairs and will stick them neatly to a corner. And also during and before lunch, and also before breakfast time, then these kids will have sanitizer, and they'll be squirting the sanitizer on the hand. uh, and also it's very important for you to be very responsible while you give sanitizers, hand over sanitizers to the other students. You should be careful not to hurt anybody, or not to uh, accidentally do anything. Okay, most of the time sanitizers blow into the nose or the eyes, and it becomes a distract to the whole class. So you have to be very responsible. You should know that this is sanitizer, and it should only be put on the hand, not on the face or anywhere. And also you have to be willing to take responsibilities, and you should love cleaning, and you should be very hygienic. Okay. And also teachers assistant sometimes, where if a student is sick, uh, monitor or that if monitor is absent, then teachers assistant will take the student to the health room. Otherwise, monitor or the assistant monitor will take the student to the health room. So these are the jobs for today, and then there are more other jobs even, but now I'm going to go with the task. So task of the day. Students will be assigned with 2 tasks. Task 1. You should be able to complete page 8 of Explore English 3 by referring to page 6 and 7. Almost what is given on page 6 and 7 I have even explained in the slides also. You can refer the slides, as well as you can go back to page 6 and 7 and you can read the page 6 and 7, and please do complete page 8 first. After completing page 8, uh, now what you have to do is, now you have to move on to task 2. On task 2, what you have to do is you have to record a small speech of not more than 1 minute, okay, to explain the classroom job that you want to apply and how qualified you are to this job. To do this activity, you will be using page 8, the application form that you have already filled in task 1, as a guideline. So by looking at this, you will understand how to do, how to speak. So now I am going to speak about, uh, I'm going to give the example speech, so you can listen to this. You can see how I have brought the idea, and then I want you to do a similar one here in task 2. Are we ready? Okay, now it's the time to show you the sample. Assalamu alaikum, good morning. My name is Kiara. I'm a girl and I'm from 3D class. Today I'm here to apply for the job of 3D class librarian. I love books and I have always dreamed of becoming a librarian. At home, I have got a small library with varieties of books. I am the best candidate for this job because since grade 1 I have been a librarian. I know library rules and I am very organized, and most importantly I love books. Thank you. So this is a This is the girl Kiara. She wants to apply for which job? Yes, she want to be a librarian. Now she is telling why she want to be a librarian, because she always dreamt about becoming a librarian. Also, she says that she has a small library with varieties of books at her home even, right? Now she is telling why you should select her as the best candidate. Look here, I'm the best candidate for this job because since grade 1, so that means she has 2 years experience. So grade 1 and 2, she has been a librarian. So she would want to be a good librarian in grade 3 also. So if she can beat the other students in the class from this interview, then she can be a librarian in 3D class, isn't it so? So similar way, I want you to choose a classroom job. Please don't just only choose to be a librarian. There are several other classroom jobs. You have Imam, you have calendar clerk, you have paper handler, monitor, assistant monitor, group leader. So please choose a one from any of these and come up with something like this and present this idea. Okay, students, I would like to see your faces. Uh, After recording it, please send it to the Viber. So that means you will be Viber and two works for me. One work is page 8 and the other work is the small video clip, not more than 1 minute, telling how much you want this job, right? Okay, so now it's time for recapping the lesson. You can see we have done 4 parts today. The first part is classroom jobs, qualities as a person.
DPS TeleClass